Hello everybody, in today's video we're going to be talking about locomotor skills. What are they and how can you teach them? If you enjoyed today's video, please drop us a like, comment and subscribe. So locomotor skills are the fundamental movement skills that we as humans will learn and quite often learn without even needing to be taught them. So it's really important that we focus on locomotor skills, especially with children between 3 to 7 years old, because this is the time where they're really going to learn the most and that fundamental movement skills that they're going to develop in that time. And these 11 locomotor skills are so important to so many different sports that they then go on to play in older years. So it's important for you as a teacher, as a coach, to know what they are, what you're going to develop, and also how to develop them and how to focus on them and make sure the children are getting better within these skills. So the 11 locomotor skills are: 1, crawling. Obviously we learn this as a child, as a baby, and we learn how to basically move around the area on our hands and knees, and it's the first locomotor skill we will generally learn as a young person. The second one is walking. Walking is obviously just the motion of walking in a relaxed manner around the area, being able to control your body as you walk around the space. Number 3 is marching. Marching is obviously similar to walking. It's that strong walking motion, but with arms under control, lifting our knees up and having control of our body. So the fourth one is running. Obviously, I don't really need to explain that one, but it's going to be fundamental to so many different sports. The fifth one is horizontal jumping. Now, horizontal jumping is when we're jumping as far as we can from one side to the other side. And so if I was to horizontally jump, I'd start with 2 feet on the ground and jump 2 feet to land on 2 feet. Try to jump as far as I possibly can, quite often and that'll be from a standing point. The sixth one is a vertical jump, which is when we're jumping as high as we can, obviously using our arms to help us on this as I bend my knees and then extend up, push off through my legs and through my toes to get as high as I can. The seventh one is hopping. Hopping is a fundamental skill that children need to learn. It's about controlling their body, having the strength in both legs as well, to be able to jump continuously using one foot. This then leads us into the eighth one, which is galloping. Galloping is the motion of having your foot in front and then bringing your other foot to come and almost meet that foot, and then the next one takes off. So it's that galloping movement there. Hopefully you can sort of understand. I know you can't see my legs in this video, but hopefully you can understand that one. The ninth one is skipping. As we know, skipping it will be sort of as we take off of our foot and then land on the same foot and then quickly hop off of it. Okay, so it's like that. And then the next one is, the 10th one is sliding, which is when you'll go from your body's facing one way and your legs are just going to go across from side to side. And the 11th one is leaping. And leaping will be from one foot, jumping as far as we can to the other foot. So leaping there. So there are your 11 locomotor skills. And I'm going to show you loads of different games that you can use to make this really fun, really engaging for the kids so they enjoy it and get to practice. That's the main thing. They need time to practice it, and they also need to know how to deliver it properly, how to move properly. So OFSTED's framework, so in the UK, OFSTED has put out a research review on PE, and one of the main things they said in that was that children need more time to practice fundamental movement skills, especially at young ages. So think about the games that you're delivering in this age group so that we're not just sort of like introducing hopping for 5 minutes and then we never come back to it. You know, really want to drive these locomotor skills into young people. So the first game that I'm going to show you is a game called Robin Hood. Now you might have seen this game before. You can do it in loads of different sports. But basically what you'll have is in the center of the area, you'll just have a hoop, and you could have maybe bean bags or cones or just some sort of item for children to pick up. Now you're going to have different teams, maybe around the outside. Try and do it evenly if you can. Okay, it's a bit of a relay race really, where children need to move. So let's say there's 3 children here, and they need to move in to get the bean bag and bring it back to their team. Once there are no bean bags left, we'll count up, see which team has the most bean bags, and they're the ones that have won. Now, the way we can link this in with our locomotor skills are that we use particular movements to go and collect the beanbag and then bring it back. So it might be, right, you must hop to the beanbag. Once you've got the beanbag, you have to sidestep, for example. So you've got the different sort of movements in there. And this could be quite a big distance. It could be quite short, depends on the space that you've got. But the big thing for this lesson is make sure there's not more than 3 children in a line. Because if you're doing that, they spend more time waiting than they do actually doing the skill. So make sure that children are getting plenty of time to do it. At the end, obviously, you're going to have all the beanbags back here. You can either get the children to reset the beanbags in the middle, or it could be a race to put the beanbags back. Okay, and again, every time they're going in and out, they are using one of those skills. Now, the reason it's called Robin Hood is because you can then say, right, instead of going into the middle, like all the beanbags are around the different areas, and you can instead now move around, and rather than take a beanbag from the middle, you can go and take one from somebody else. So this team could come over here, pick up their beanbag using the skipping method, and come back, and let's say they're allowed to march. They have to march when they're coming back to their station. So they come back there, and obviously other people, but you have to control it well, because they get quite defensive about their beanbags. You have to make it very clear you can't defend and you can't pick up more than one beanbag. But it works really well for getting these skills driven, like an opportunity for children to move in this particular way. So that's the first game, called Robin Hood. So the next game we've got is called Numbers. Now, Numbers is a pretty simple one. You can do it however you like, but you can try and get all of your locomotor skills into this, and you basically just give each locomotor skill a number. Now, if you can make some of them rhyme, that'll help as well. So number 1, on the run. Number 2, hop on one shoe. Okay, things like that, and go all the way from 1 to 11. Give each of them a number, and just keep going around the numbers. You're having a bit of a laugh with the children, because it's, oh, who can remember number 7? Oh, number 7 was marching. Well done. And off we go, we're marching. Okay, and so this game of numbers works really well, and you can do this for a good 15-20 minutes if you put the energy in, and there's lots of positivity in it as well. And they're going to have lots of time practicing that skill. And when I'm delivering this, yes, I'll give them time to practice it, but if I see someone skipping really well, I'm going to pause the group and I'm going to say, right, can we watch Ruby? She's skipping really well. Everybody watching Ruby, and Ruby, off she goes, she's skipping. And that will be a fantastic way to help children see and understand what good skipping looks like. You might not be able to do it yourself, for example, depending on who you are and your situation. You might need the children to demonstrate all of these. You might not be able to hop, so maybe you can get a video out on your iPad or show them in the classroom before you come out. Just everything, all these little things, because children need to see what excellent looks like, so they know what they're trying to get towards. Okay, so the third game is called Stations. Stations will be you just have 11 different stations. So you might have a little relay race sort of thing where they come through here, and you'll maybe have your hopping, so they have to go from here to here by hopping. And what I would do is I'd have 11 different stations all the way around the outside, and each station has a laminated piece of paper which says hopping, and it's maybe got a diagram of a stick man doing a hopping or something like that, or a bit of a description. That would be fantastic. And then depending on which station they are, maybe they're going in and out, maybe they've got to play it, or you could play a game of it, or tag, but you have to be marching the whole time. Okay, and little things like this that you can just make it fun. So each station is a different, you're not just doing this on every station. So each station is different, but each station is focused towards one of the locomotor skills, and that will really help you develop. If you're doing crawling and you're outside, just be clever and maybe just do 10 stations, okay? But see how you get on, see what space you've got, and that will be a really good lesson to develop those locomotor skills. The next one I'm going to show you today is called Animals, and I use this game all the time in my lessons because I think it's a fantastic warm-up, works really well, but it can also be led into a main session. Now, the way it works is, let's say we are going to be cheetahs, okay? So we're cheetahs, if you're outside on a field and you've got big space, I would not do this in a small primary school hall with pianos and all that sort of stuff going around. So depending on the space, but it could be cheetahs and they're running as fast as they can. It might be they are sloths, so you have to march really slowly. It might be you're a speedy sloth, which means you can march quickly. It might be you're a frog, okay, and your frogs are 2 foot vertical, horizontal jumping. It could be you're a giraffe and you've got to go as high as you can. So anything that you can, any animals that you can think of which sort of link into your locomotor skills, it just brings it to life that little bit more, rather than just saying hopping and then they've just got to hop. You know, say it's a bouncy flamingo. Oh, and they're all bouncy flamingos, and that makes so much more. It makes it something fun for that 3 to 7 year old age group, and yeah, will really help you in your lesson, bring in that positivity, energy, so that children are having a positive experience in your lesson. So there we are. We've talked about 11 different locomotor skills and 4 different games that you can deliver to make sure that children are getting good time to practice and develop on these skills. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please drop me a like and please comment and subscribe so I can get a little bit more interaction with you guys. It'd be great to see us push up our subscribers. We're aiming for 1,000 at the moment, and at the time of filming this, we're at 426. So thank you so much for listening and look forward to seeing you in the next video.